Hello and welcome back. Thank you for joining me here today. We are going to talk about letting go of control today. Specifically, our need to let go of control and our acceptance, our sheer acceptance that there are some things going on that we really can't do anything about. All of it, of course, within the context of A Course in Miracles. And well, yeah, that's what this video series is all about. So, this is a specific question from one of you. So, thank you so much for asking the question. And again, these are most welcome. I really welcome your specific questions or general questions for that matter about A Course in Miracles, about spirituality in general. I'm here to serve as a guide for you. And if there's anything that I can do to answer a question of yours, please feel welcome to ask. After all, spirituality is all about deep self inquiry. So, quite naturally, questions do arise. So, the specific question that we're going to cover today is well, we all do our best, what we can do on a given day here on the spiritual path. Some days look better than others. Some days it feels like we're really getting it. And then the next day, or even in the next 5 seconds, right? It feels like none of this is working at all. And why am I doing it? And it's easy to look out, apparently, out on the world that we see that appears to surround us. And again, I emphasize appears to surround us, that we appear to inhabit, and get stressed out by all the events that arise and here in the world we say are taking place. You know, all the stuff that's going on stresses us out. It can even frighten us. I mean, really frighten us. And we can very easily, as we all find from time to time, get sucked into it. We can forgive, feel good, begin to experience some of the beautiful and positive results of this, and then get sucked right back in to the world's drama. It's very easy to do. So, how do we accept then that we can't control the stuff out there, and it's something we simply can't figure out? Great question. This came up yesterday, and it's popping right back up again today, which is absolutely no surprise because the Holy Spirit likes to repeat things for our own learning benefit. The idea here is, like it or not, and whether you'd label yourself one or not, we're all control freaks. I mean, we look at certain people, perhaps people that we've had personal relationships with or still do have a personal relationship with. We can look at some people and think, man, they really expend a lot of energy attempting to manipulate and control other people and circumstances and phenomena. Man, no wonder they're so stressed out, hypertensive, and well, psycho, right? I mean, we can take a look at that and say, okay, yeah, that person's a control freak. Well, we're all control freaks. I mean, whether you label yourself one or not, we all attempt to orchestrate life. We attempt to manipulate and control circumstances, phenomena, and people. We deeply desire what we see as the world out there to arrange itself according to our own desires, our own individual ego desires. We do. When you think about it, we do this a lot. That's an understatement. Sometimes it's near constant. Why? We've been conditioned to do it. It is habit. Here, studying and practicing A Course in Miracles, we're learning a new habit, forgiveness and release. It's a new way of approaching everything in our experience. It's a new way, a more sane and calm way of looking at ourselves. It's a nice, more tranquil way and powerful, tranquil way of looking at what we see as other people, what we see at the world. We look out, apparently, from these little mirrors here, and everything appears to be outside us. There is nothing outside you, nothing outside you. So, as we are exposed to that, I mean, really, as we gain exposure to the idea here in A Course in Miracles that the world is not coming at you, but rather from you, that can be one that's rather difficult to digest moment to moment, which I fully get because we all experience this difficulty, this resistance. It is the ego that's resisting. Anytime you resist any of these ideas, it's the ego. What else could it be? And as always, with this course, we can take that for whatever we think applies to us. Truth is true, and whether you believe it or not, whether you put these ideas into practice or not, truth continues to be true even though you don't acknowledge it. It's still true. When you allow yourself to sit with that one and let it stew, it's very powerful. So ultimately, there is very, very little, or really nothing, that we can do about the broader world out there. And again, it appears out there. People will continue to behave the way they behave. How can we make an impact? Well, true forgiveness and release. I'll explain how that actually makes an impact, even though it really just appears that we can't do anything about the world in its current state of chaos. And there are people behaving badly everywhere. There are people that are intentionally doing harm. There are people, many, many more people that are doing harm without actually intending to do harm, and everything in between. So here we all are, apparently, again, right here. What do we do? Forgive and release. Again, we forgive everything that's not wholly joyous. Something stresses you out, forgive. Someone stresses you out, forgive. All in your mind. You don't have to call them up. In fact, you may not know them. An example I like to use, geopolitics. What else? I reside in the United States, and well, Today is the 18th of October, 2024, and as you all know, we have a presidential election coming up in just over 2 weeks' time, as you're well aware, I'm sure. That means if someone wants to get upset, they've got lots of material at their disposal from all sides. What is this but a giant forgiveness opportunity? And I simply use this as one example. There are many examples, and I frequently use politics because it is a perfect example. It is. It's really a perfect example of the ego at play. People defining and defending personal territory and absolutely attacking people that don't share their own personal views. And even within this cluster, this group, call it a political party or here in the United States, a super PAC or something like that. Yeah, here within the group itself, there's attack, strife, competition, mistrust. Yeah, it's very easy to get stressed out by all of that because the world appears to be circling the drain. Well, here's something. It's always appeared to be circling the drain, and it itself is an illusion. It is an illusion. There is no world. When we look at all of this phenomena, it's a dream, and it may be a very stressful dream at the moment. So, what do? Forgive. What is stressing you out? That is the subject of true forgiveness. We forgive under the guidance of our inner teacher. Doesn't mean we have to agree with the people or the things that we're forgiving. In fact, we may hold the exact opposite view. Not a problem. This forgiveness is done in our own mind. Again, other people do not have to know, and the impact is in your mind. It's huge. One of the more famous statements from this course is a tranquil mind is not a little gift. It is not a little gift. It's huge. It may seem entirely insignificant because these events appear to be raging on all around us, yet you can be a center of calm. It's very powerful. Here's what happens when you are. When you let go of the desire, the attachment, if you prefer that term from Buddhism, to control and manipulate all phenomena. When you let go of that, funny thing happens. You actually begin to influence it greatly through your forgiveness. Will people change their behavior in this lifetime? Perhaps not. In fact, you can look out and see some people's behavior and think, yeah, he or she's never likely to change that this time around. And maybe they won't, but you can change your mind. What happens here in the dream as a practical matter when you change your mind, when you give your experience over to the Holy Spirit and forgive, 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 and release the ego every time? What happens is you begin to have a very positive impact. It may not look global, but it's powerful and universal nonetheless. Why? There is one mind. Difficult concept to grasp, especially at first. Very simple concept. There's one mind. It's not hard to say. But your forgiveness has an impact a ripple effect. Think of your spiritual practice, whatever it has looked like, whether it has included this course or not. Makes no difference. Since you've been on what we call the path, are you calmer? And what impact has that had, not only on yourself, but on everyone around you? The people are drawn to calm. They don't know why necessarily. We're all attracted to the light. The more you bring it, what's going to happen? People are going to notice. They may not say anything. They may not even really be consciously aware of it. The impact of forgiveness is astronomical. In fact, it's immeasurable. We cannot quantify it with all of our made up conventions. Even complex physics and mathematics can't even approach it. There is no order of difficulty in miracles. They're all the same, all of them. Each act of forgiveness is equally as powerful as any else. So the more we all do it, imagine one person doing true forgiveness and the impact that has on that person themselves, on everyone around them. Peace begins to spread out as a manner of speaking. It's internal, it's who we are. It doesn't actually go out. We're simply using that as an image for teaching and learning purposes. Just as Jesus does here in the Course to show us, to demonstrate and teach. Yeah. So if one person can have a tremendous impact on an order of magnitude, can you imagine if we all did it? That would greatly influence things, wouldn't it? The one thing that is really valuable to let go of is our desire to control the world. Let's all realize something very important. This course is not about controlling phenomena that appear to be out there. That's why it doesn't mention things like conscious manifestation, getting more money. Okay, well, get more money if you want to get more money. Okay. This course doesn't even touch on that at all. Its central teaching is there is no world. It's about changing our mind. So the more you change your mind, what's going to happen? Everything you look at is going to appear different, very differently. And it's okay to not believe this. We learn by doing it. It's perfectly fine to understand this course with the intellectual, rational thinking mind. It's of very limited value. However, we really learn the best by doing it, by putting it into practice. There's a reason these videos stress this over and over again. It is through our direct experience, our application of these principles that we really learn. Our experience demonstrates the truth of these ideas to us viscerally. I like that word. Yeah. It shows us. And, well, you're invited to show yourself. We're all invited to demonstrate, to prove to ourselves that these teachings are true. Because whether we acknowledge it or not, truth is true. Sounds super obvious, huh? Yeah, truth is true. It goes on being truth, even in the midst of our spinning chaos. So when the world outside stresses you out, forgive. It's an inside job. And the more you change your own mind, the far more differently you will see the world. It will appear different to you. When? I don't know. Why don't we start right now by forgiving whatever it is that's coming up in your experience? Whatever it is that comes up that annoys you or frightens you or makes you sad or angry, there's plenty of material. I mean, I reference politics as a very good example. And that's just one example. And this is an international audience. So we're here literally from all over the world, which is really cool when you think about it. This technology, the internet, is being used to share the Holy Spirit with all of you, no matter where you are, no matter what time it appears to be where you live, no matter when you watch this video. It's very cool. And it's very, very important that you're here. So I really, really thank you not only for tuning in, but for your dedication and commitment to your spiritual practice, which is absolutely huge. I mean, I don't know. You would think I would be able to come up with a better word, but there are no words at all, in fact, to stress the magnitude of that, the importance of your dedication and commitment to your practice. Every single living thing thanks you profoundly for that. I just want to point that out. And I thank you very much for this particular question. It's a great one. And if you have questions, please feel welcome to ask. There is, of course, and I get it, sometimes a hesitancy to ask a question. Actually, I want to invite you, if it seems and feels like a beginner question to you, ask that question. Those are often the best because there could be somebody that's been practicing this course and involved in this for, oh gosh, 25, 30 or more years that may really get something. A basic question. We all need these basic questions. Because when you really think about it, spirituality in general, no matter the tradition, is about applying these basic ideas over and over and over again. So, questions, please, if you've got them. And thank you for this one. And yeah, if you have not yet joined us, please do that. This is the subscription prompt over here in the corner of your screen. Click that and you'll be invited to join us. And thank you to all of you who have recently done that. There've been a number of you. And again, it's an international community, which is great. Yeah, I mean, it's modern 21st century technology, and it can most certainly be used to disseminate hatred. Well, let's use it to extend love. And if we all did that, it doesn't have to be in this format. You don't have to do camera and microphone. But, even if it's just refraining from commenting on someone's nasty post on social media, there are many ways to extend love. How are you going to do it? Ask your inner teacher. He'll show you. All right. Thank you, as always, for joining me. And I will talk to all of you very soon.